All right, guys. Welcome again to another episode of S.O.S. Success Over Struggles. And today, this is awesome. This is really fun. We're going to be entertained by Eli and Kyle, the Biz Bros. Guys, they're phenomenal. They've been through a lot and really want to talk and hit on perseverance. Both of you, it's a pleasure. Really, seriously, glad to have you on the show.
We're super
What's
excited,
up, man?
Chase. Thanks a ton.
We're stoked. We're stoked to be here. It's a pleasure to be able to chat a little bit about our past.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm seriously, I know we talked a little bit, but now we're really going to get into nitty and gritty and have a fun time. So when it comes to all of this, you guys have a pretty awesome, successful business going on, right? But let's take it back. Rewind.
Let's do it.
All right. Rewind
the tapes.
Exactly. And talk about, because perseverance, you guys are big on this. How many startups have you guys done before this, before hitting gold in a sense? I want
Between the both of us.
Between the both of us?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Like 6 or 7.
I'm adding in my head. That's
I don't know, like 8 to 10. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
And that's not because a bunch of failures. I mean, we've had our failures, but yeah, dude, just it's all about this being a serial entrepreneur and just trying new things and shiny objects happen.
Exactly. It's more about the journey. Yeah. We love the journey, I think, more than we love like the outcome. So we're always striving to kind of find that new thing, and we go through these different startups.
100%.
Yep.
I love it. I love what you put out there with that, the journey.
Yeah.
By the way, I am curious, and I'm sure the audience is too. Tell us, how did you guys meet? How do you become partners before we dive into some other stuff?
Question.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, we were at a buddy's like 27th birthday party, and we didn't know each other before, and it was kind of like a across the table kind of thing. And I don't know, we just had a good synergy, and sense of humor was pretty dialed.
Sense of humor was the number one thing.
Yeah.
I kept making these stupid jokes that no one else was laughing about, and he thought it was hilarious, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, this dude I'm going to hang out with.
Yeah. I think that was that was definitely the start. I was the only one laughing. I'm like, I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah.
Either we're both idiots or maybe we actually know what humor is. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah. So we met there, and then ever since then, it's been an amazing friendship and really good business partners.
Yeah.
From there.
100%.
Been a true Cinderella story.
It
kind of, man. Yin and yang, man.
It totally has.
It's for real.
Yeah. I just kidding. But yeah, so really walk us in this though, because you guys, I wanted to bring you on because, man, perseverance is big. A lot of us go through different obstacles in life, right? But it's impressive what you guys have been through, and I want you to share that. So walk us back to some of those struggles with, those 8 to 10 different startups and then going to this and hitting the gold mine. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
What do you want to start?
I mean, I think we could start. I can start on my side with
sounds good.
With a company called Market Fleet in Winterial. So I started a direct-to-consumer lifestyle brand called Winterial. Had about 400 SKUs in the adventure sport arena. So camping, backpacking, hiking, snowshoeing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I did a couple weeks in China and sourcing some of those products, but some of the deep-rooted struggles came from not really seeing the future and seeing some struggles in the back end of Amazon, and seeing kind of how Amazon today is kind of a race to the bottom in terms of price, and then in terms of reviews. So on the front page of Amazon, you have lowest price, highest reviews, and that is what is on the front page. So you kind of lose that feeling of a good brand, or like what that kind of touchy-feely personal touch brand feels like. So that was a struggle that I had with selling on Amazon, and that direct to the consumer model is I think that was a big turning point in my mindset. I was like, I don't feel like the brand. I don't feel like that touchy-feely like I talked about. And I think that was a big struggle in that company.
Hit it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love what you brought to the table. Now I want to hear another story, and then we're going to dive into some other questions.
Oh yeah. I think to kind of preface this, we had a startup we were part of together. And then he had one startup and I had one.
Yep.
And then there was this one, and then there's the one we have now. So that was his startup. The startup I had by myself was a staffing agency.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I had a staffing agency for about 5 years. We staffed RNs and CNAs. And I started that from total bootstrap, $0. And over the years, I was able to grow it by myself to something pretty substantial in California. It was really exciting. And I was riding this crazy wave of temp staffing. Like, it was, every hospital needed temporary staff. But as I grew, the overhead of paying nurses, like, nurses make stupid money, like $50 to $100 an hour. Like, I mean, they're well worth it. I don't mean to say stupid money, but they make really good money. Yeah. And when you have a nurse working 40 hours a week after week, and then you have 5 to 10 of them going at one time, that was crazy. And so what happened was, some of these hospitals, there was a big a downturn, and a lot of hospitals was 90 days, 120 days late. And I was like, okay, I've got like $40,000-$50,000 worth of payroll I need to pay, and these hospitals aren't paying. It was stressful. Had to take out some big credit lines, and it just had to work through that. But eventually we worked through it, through the lines of credits, paying those off, and then exited it successfully. But when you're responsible for that many people, and that this goes for anybody that has employees, and you're responsible for that much money worth of payroll, like, their payroll comes before yours, and you'll do anything to make sure to pay these people. Like, you cannot not pay them, because you got to make sure that people have food on the table. So, I remember nights losing sleep week after week, freaking out, like, oh my gosh, am I going to make payroll? Am I going to make payroll? Let alone worrying about me and my own family and my kids, making sure we need to eat. But if there's a will, there's a way. If you can just sit down and, like, erase the negative thoughts and just, like, really think about what the plan is moving forward, you can figure it out. Yeah. So it was crazy. It was a crazy ride. I learned a lot from owning the staffing agency.
Bet. No, both of those. And it's cool you brought up staffing, temp agency. My stepdad, that's what they do out here in Utah. And
oh, wow.
As well, but
wow.
I totally,
that's crazy.
For different verticals, right? But I could only imagine. That's why I feel you. I sympathize with you.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to, the medical field and the revenue thereafter, and cool. So crazy learning experience there then, right? Because I mean, was that the main takeaway? What else have you guys taken away from that?
Yeah. Just from that right there, my main takeaway was, don't grow too fast, because you don't know what your counts are going to be looking like. So you just gotta work slow. And
I think my takeaway was just focus on the passion. My passion was in branding and, like, creating a really cool story behind a brand. And the takeaway was kind of the channel that I decided to go down, the lucrative channel, kind of pulled me away from the passion and the focus that I had, and why I set out to start that brand. So that was kind of what I reflected on, was focusing on keeping sure, that the path and the mission that you set when you start a brand or start a product needs to set forth kind of throughout everything that you do. So that was my takeaway.
Created the Baron. I mean, Eli, I like that, especially what you put in there with passion. Right? So going into what you guys do now, Biz Bros, right? And phenomenal work, by the way. So how'd you manage to get into this and grind away and decide, hey, I'm not going to do this 9-to-5 stuff. I'm going to push through. We're going to build a business.
Yep.
Yeah. So Biz Bros is like our brand, but our company's name is Results Imagery.
Yeah.
And it really came out of necessity. I think you could touch on this more with Winterial.
Yeah. I think so we saw a big gap at Winterial is high quality product photos and videos sell. People are shopping with their eyes and not touching products with their hands anymore in the retail store. So we did a couple tests, because Kyle's realm was in the media background, and I had the e-commerce background. So we did some testing on a product and realized that really good product photos sold, kind of blew this product up that we had in the Winterial line. So from there, Kyle and I really wanted to join forces again. and we kind of the yin and yang he mentioned before, e-commerce and media background. That was a perfect blend and synergy that created Results Imagery, which is really creating high quality content for online retailers today.
Yeah, no, seriously. And you can tell you guys are yin and yang, as you said earlier, right? It's a great combo. Love it. So when it comes to Results Imagery now, was it success from the beginning, or how have you guys been able to, persevere and get to where you are?
I mean, in the beginning, it was a side hustle. Yeah. So, I mean, there was times where, because I had my own commercial photography business, and he was doing his market fleet business, but there was times where I was like, dude, we got this client for Results. It's our like first or second big one. You got to figure out how to take a day off or something, man, or like 2 hours off.
Yeah, seriously. Sprinting away, trying to figure out how to make it happen.
It was crazy. But in terms of success, I mean, I don't even feel like we've hit success yet. We're still moving, and we're working towards our goals. But we've seen some cool growth. But it's been a long 3.5 years so far. I mean, we have seen some crazy lows and some pretty cool highs. But it's a crazy experience.
Sorry, Kyle, you bring up that we've seen some crazy lows. Yeah. What's a crazy low? Let's dive into that. What's a crazy low, man?
I don't know.
We've had a lot of them, but I think I think a big one was we started to kind of feel that the business model was validated, and we saw a big brand named Clean Canteen. They're in the insulated water bottle space. They reached out and they were like, "We have $100,000 budget to spend on media."
Our eyes are just like, what?
On media. And we're like,
small startup.
And like at that point, it's like, okay, the business actually has some validity and people want our service. And we started to get a couple other small orders. And I think we kind of started to feel success at a really young age. And we were like, man, this is cool. Like, let's pull the foot off the gas pedal on like going after, like really hunting these leads down. The next thing you know, the next month, we kind of had pulled back, and we were kind of like living this glorious type of feel. Stoked. And yeah, exactly. And then payroll came around for the employees we had. And we ended up overdrafting our account, and it had to pull from our savings account, which had $500 in the back. And payroll was like $4.99 and
$4.99.50 or something.
It left us with like 97 cents in the business account. Yeah. So
stressful.
It was extremely stressful. And I remember going to Starbucks that next morning when I saw the bank account. I don't know if you had seen it yet, and I think I showed you.
We were like, dude,
on my phone. And I said, "Look what we got going on here."
Apparently, we're not a business anymore.
Yeah. Good morning, man. Hope your coffee's good. But no, look at this.
Yeah, you're not using a credit card for the coffee for the business. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So at that point, I think that was rock bottom for Kyle and I. I think we realized that we don't want the business to work. We need the business to work. It was never a matter of will it work? It has to work, because we're trying to support ourselves and do what we love every single day. And it kind of was a nice slap in the face. Like, okay, don't never pull that foot off the gas pedal.
And so then we sat down and we're like, holy crap, like, what are we going to do? Like, we turned off the leads. We're not, we've turned off that whole sales process, which our close process is 3 to 4 weeks. So we're like, oh crap, what are we going to do? Eli and I were like, okay, like, let's do this. We smile and dial for the next 2 weeks. And that month, and from, I don't know, we were about 1 to 2 years into the company. That month was our strongest month that we'd ever had in terms of revenue.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So if there's a will, there's a way. I mean, there's no excuse to just let it go by the wayside. Like, if you need to get something done, you're going to do it. Whether it's smiling down for 12 to 16 hours a day to make sure you can make up that revenue. And I think one of our retainer clients in terms of longevity came from that month.
Oh, absolutely.
So so that was pretty crazy. So it was nuts, man. And then just ever since then, it's been cool.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I think that is that was really just like perseverance at its core.
Yeah.
Kyle and I were just really, we locked in and did nothing. But I think a lot of it was a mindset change. as well. We were kind of floating high on cloud nine, like you said. And then it was kind of like almost like a visualization and a positive mindset. Like, okay, this will happen, but we need to do these steps to get there.
Well, and to add to that too, sorry,
Yeah.
one last thing is that client that had $100,000 budget, we didn't get it.
Yeah. No, we didn't get it.
That was the thing.
Yeah,
we were 99% sure we were going to close that client, and then we didn't get it.
Yeah,
and so then it was like, crap. Like now we don't have them. It was crazy.
We were up until like 3 a.m.
It was
trying to shoot this thing. It was,
oh man,
that's a good story. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane,
Lessons learned,
guys.
Lesson
Fight
learned.
or flight.
Yep.
But you guys decided to fight.
Exactly.
That's the big part right there.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Crazy
Yeah.
story. So, you guys talked about pushing through, smile and dial. I loved how you use that. That's great. So when it comes to pushing through, right, and getting through instead of going away and taking flight, how did you guys fight this off? Besides smile and dial, was there a certain strategy? You talked about mindset.
Mindset and some of the foundational things for the company came out of that month.
Oh, absolutely. I think we realized that like we realized like what the core business was. We realized like what the bottom like foundation of the company was. And if we didn't have a quality product, nobody would work with us. So we really focused on the core of what we've set out to do. And I think we also established our mission, which is to become the world's largest e-commerce media company. And I think that was like a really, really cool point where we kind of established like what it looks like. We have a quote board in our studio today, and I wrote this quote up there, and I think it works pretty well. But I like the mountains and the outdoors, and I wrote, "See the peak, tighten the boots, and start climbing."
That's so good.
And I think that really relates to this point in time when it was like, okay, we're at rock bottom, but now let's reset the mindset, focus on what is the mission of Results Imagery, and that was seeing the peak.
100%.
I love it.
That was really good.
I'm pretty 100%.
I'm stuck over here. You know what I mean?
Eli, that's fantastic for sure. See the peak. And when now, because people can go your site, Results Imagery, and we see there's some quality, amazing, clients you guys have worked with.
Oh man, some of the clients
super lucky.
It's been insane. Yeah. I mean, we still pinch ourselves when Fortune 500 or companies that are public on the New York Stock Exchange hit us up. We're just like, I think you just have to stay humble and know like you really aren't anything special. It's just through branding and experience you're able to really showcase who you are and what you do. But it's insane. It's currently working with Roku. They're probably one of our bigger clients. 5 Hour Energy. We've worked with, but I think the cooler part, even though there's like pretty cool companies we've worked with that are everyday brand names, we're able to help small businesses in a way and people that are starting side hustles and trying to get out of the 9-to-5 grind, like we were trying to start those businesses through premium photo and video at a price what they can afford and latch on to.
Yep.
And so we're helping thousands of small business owners, showcase their product to be able to compete with some of the larger brands out there. And that's cool knowing that we're part of their journey and part of their, vision moving forward. So that's what tickles me, that's what gives me goosebumps.
Dude. Yeah. Kyle, I mean, that's pretty impressive, you guys, seriously. For all you listening out there, you gotta go check them out. We'll talk about that here in a minute, but you can go to resultsimagery.com and seriously, your guys' work is fantastic. If there was a score between 1 and 10, it's above that, right?
Thank you.
I appreciate
that. No, seriously, it's great. And those in e-commerce, I love what you guys are about because startups, you guys know it's a grind and helping them out. I'm sure you have some awesome, amazing stories with that. Lastly, to conclude here, what's some advice, if we were to say, hey, we want just one piece of advice that you can give, entrepreneurs or what have you trying to start something out, what would that be?
Do you have one?
No, I think you're always full of those.
Mine, to me, it's always, I've said this a lot. It's always like following your passion and never astray from that. And I think again, I think the quote I said earlier, like seeing the end destination and then like, what is that journey to get there? That's what I think is really cool.
I mean, there's to get to the peak, there's different trails you can take, right? There's different ways to get there. And it's the choice of which way you want to go. And that's the journey that you sculpt to the top.
Yep.
Because the peak's there, you can reach it. Anyone can reach it.
Yep.
But that journey on the way that you're building your business and the decisions that you make, the trail's going to change.
Yep. Exactly.
And there's going to be boulders that fall in it. And then there's going to be easy parts of it where it's nice and flat and you can just like sprint a little bit. But you just set forth and vision, have good vision in your company and just, kind of know where you're heading.
Have a good mission and stick to it. I think that's what we've done. It's kind of instilled in every employee that we bring on. We tell them the mission, even in the interview. We say like our goal is to be the largest e-commerce media company in this space. And that really helps kind of get that vision already set in them, even if we hire them or not. So
that's great. You instill that. So it sounds like the culture evolves around that. It's a fun culture, right?
Yeah. Culture is a massive part of what we try to do. Culture, I think is always at the root of it. It's always bringing on the right people, even if they're amazing aces, but they don't have that culture vibe. We will bring them on. It's simply not because they're not good at what they do, but we want a culture to be fun and we want people to enjoy
the day.
Yeah. We always say we want people to kind of, maybe dread Friday afternoon at 4:30 and be super stoked at 8 p.m. on a Sunday night that they get to come into work. So that it's kind of what we try to, again, instill in the culture.
No, that's really fantastic, and glad you guys hit on that. So lastly, resultsimagery.com is where we can go for the business, right? Where else? For everybody listening in, we want to connect with you guys. So where do we go?
Yeah, go for it.
Instagram at biz.bros.
Yep.
So like we didn't mention, but we have our own podcast as well, and our own brand that we're working towards, and we do some virtual events and some speaking at events as well.
Yeah.
And speak on similar topics as you do. So at biz.bros, and we have a website coming pretty soon. That's getting worked on, so that'll be all connected to Instagram when that time comes.
YouTube as well. We're on YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, we have our YouTube page, Biz Bros. We should
just everywhere creating that big omni-channel, right?
Yep.
That's right, omni-channel.
Absolutely.
So. Fantastic. Well, both of you, seriously, it's been a riot. It's been good to dive into that, the perseverance and how you guys have been able to scale and build up Results Imagery. You all listening, go check it out. And seriously, thanks for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Continue pushing through your obstacles on your way towards your path of success.
Awesome. Thanks, Chase.
Appreciate it, Chase. Have a good one.